Welcome to Business with Teacher T. In this video, we're briefly going to look at the concept of limited liability and unlimited liability. This is a tricky topic for many students, so hopefully this video will give you further insight into this topic area. Before we start, this is just a reminder that if you're liking the business vibe, don't forget to subscribe, as well as hitting that all-time important notification bell so you can be notified of all the future Teacher T videos that'll be coming out to support your revision. Let's start by looking at limited liability. The businesses that have limited liability are private limited companies, LTDs, and public limited companies, PLCs. These are incorporated businesses, which means that owners, who are shareholders, have a separate legal entity from the business. Be sure to check out the Teacher T video on private limited companies and public limited companies, which gives you more detail. Limited liability means that the shareholders are only liable for the amount of money invested in the business if it were to go into debt. This means that the owner and the business have a separate legal entity and the shareholders are separate from the company. An easy way to remember this is the word limit. It suggests that there is a restriction. So a restriction on how much a shareholder can lose, which is only the amount that they invest into the company. Let's take a look at an example of limited liability. Meet Matt. Matt is a shareholder. Matt has invested £6,000 into a company. Unfortunately, that company later went into debt of £80,000. Now Matt would only lose the amount of money that he has invested in the company, which is the £6,000. Matt's own personal assets, such as his house and any cars that he has, and any other valuables, are safe as they do not belong to the business. So Matt would only lose the £6,000 that he has invested. His other personal possessions are protected. This is an advantage for shareholders like Matt, as it gives them a layer of protection, as they will only lose what they have invested in the company and not their personal assets. Right, so now let's move on to the concept of unlimited liability. Unincorporated businesses applies to sole traders and partnerships and means there is unlimited liability, which also means the business and the owners are one. Unlimited liability applies to sole traders and partnerships and means that if the owners do not have enough money in their business to pay for their business's debts, they would have to use their own money to pay for these debts, no matter how much it is. This is because the owner and the business are seen as the same legal identity. This is risky, as the owners may have to sell their personal possessions, such as their house and their cars, in order to pay for any losses from the business. Let's take a look at an example. Amira is a sole trader and owns a painting and decorating business. If the business fails and has debt of £40,000 that she owes to the bank and suppliers, then Amira is personally liable for the debt. This means that Amira may have to sell her personal possessions to help repay the debt. Thanks for watching this video. If you've got any other examples that you'd like to share, or any other topics that you'd like me to do videos on, don't hesitate to write those in the comments. Until next time.